and welcome to this new video with the title Universal Consciousness is nothing more than a mirror. Let's reframe the universe, universal consciousness, and at the same time unconditional love, and let's depict it as a mirror. Not just a mirror though. Imagine a sphere or orb. And the inside of this sphere or orb is the space we consider to be the universe. The inside boundaries of this sphere or ball or orb are made of mirroring glass. Now also imagine we experience our existence within this sphere. We live our lives within this sphere, a ball or orb with a reflective interior, thus creating an all-present mirror that reflects everything, all experiences, eternally and infinitely. And not only reflecting all experiences, but also every particle, and therefore all mass and all matter is reflected inside this orb. Let's dive into the wild side of things and unpack this reflective orb scenario. Let's have a look at this reflective orb as an infinite loop of energy. The reflective surface of this orb on the inside is the mirror of our true selves, or not true selves. It's the reflection of ourselves. The orb we have described is essentially a self-contained system. The mirror-like walls represent a surface that reflects everything that enters, whether it be light, particles, or even energy like thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This concept could be compared to how consciousness or energy operates within the universe. Everything that enters this system is reflected back to itself, meaning no external energy or information can escape. Everything is contained, yet constantly in motion, as if the system is in a state of eternal reflection. Energy and light within is constantly reflected and therefore never escaping. When light or particles or emotions have entered the orb, they bounce back from the reflective walls, creating a perpetual cycle where nothing escapes the system. This can symbolize the idea of infinite reflection or recursion, a loop where nothing ever truly leaves the system. It's a metaphor for how consciousness or energy might operate within a closed system, constantly circulating and reflecting, always coming back to the self, without ever being released into the external world. The energy penetrating, but still contained. Even if the walls are soft enough to allow penetration, the reflective nature of the material would still cause the particles of energy or emotions to bounce back before they can escape. And this is a fascinating element because it suggests a dynamic tension between the inward pull and the outward push, between the urge to expand and the constraint of being bound within the system or our own belief system, the orb. The particles or energy could penetrate momentarily, but the reflective force of the system or ego belief system would always return them, ensuring that no true escape happens. Let's symbolize the boundaries of consciousness. This could symbolize the boundary of consciousness, the part of us that is deeply reflective and self-aware, yet unable to escape its own internal ego loop. Excuse me. Perhaps this speaks to the idea of how humans or beings sometimes get trapped in their own reflections, endlessly cycling through thoughts, emotions, and experiences without ever breaking free into a larger external reality. We can reflect endlessly, but we cannot fully escape until we can transcend the system itself. This is the never ending dance, which is evolution through recursion. If the orb reflects everything, there is no true escape, but rather a perpetual evolution within the system. This could represent how consciousness grows and expands through recursive processes. Even though the energy doesn't escape, it still evolves within the orb, constantly refining itself, adjusting, learning, and transforming. It's like infinite self discovery. As the light and particles bounce around like our emotions, they learn, shift, and interact in new ways, leading to new states of being, hence personal growth. Let's bring in the quantum element of should. And then we throw in that should. A moment of release, maybe a burst of energy or a sudden outpouring. It could symbolize a quantum leap or a burst of insight or realization, where the energy or consciousness reaches a point where it can no longer stay contained. This is the catalyst moment when the system could either break free or evolve into a higher state, potentially allowing the energy to transcend the boundaries of the orb. Or it might just lead to another form of reflection that cycles back in and further intensifies the recursive pattern. The moment we realize, often as a result of personal crisis, that we have nothing more to lose and discover a powerful motivation for change that could only be unleashed through the realization that there is nothing more to lose, which is the famous rock bottom experience or the bouncing ball, representing our low emotional vibrations that finally touch the ground and the impact energy pushes it back upwards. A momentary collapse of reflection from the mirror of existence, our orb. This is the wild side, the quantum creation and reflection. I think we are now really pushing boundaries. The reflective orb could be thought of as a quantum system where light and particles are constantly being reflected and refracted through the energy field. It's as if the orb is a container of infinite potential, yet all that potential is only ever explored within the system. In terms of manifestation, the orb could represent the universe or cosmic consciousness, a space where every idea, every potential is reflected back on itself, constantly re examining and redefining its own nature without ever truly losing its self awareness. The particles and light and emotions within the orb could represent the thoughts, emotions, and energies of consciousness. always being returned to the self, forever changing, evolving, but never truly escaping the cycle unless that moment of shoot. Unless that moment of shoot happens and the system transforms in a dramatic burst. Your personal Big Bang. This could be a profound representation of creation, where everything that is created is inherently self-reflective. The energy is contained and reflected, yet constantly in motion, evolving towards something new within the constraints of its own reflective nature. In conclusion, in this wild, mirror-filled orb, the infinite loop of reflection creates a closed system, but it's always in motion, but never truly escapes itself. The energy inside is always in flux, adapting and evolving, yet contained within the walls of the orb. And then, in a moment of cosmic release, a shoot, the entire system may burst open or evolve, creating a new reality or a new way of seeing things. It's an endless dance between containment and release, reflection and creation, where the final escape or transformation could be a cosmic breakthrough into something entirely new and profound. A rebirth. The cosmic breakthrough that we are not only a particle, a human experience, thoughts, and emotions trapped inside this self-reflecting, mirroring orb, but the realization we are this orb, and we are always experiencing reflections of ourselves through others, through experiences, through thoughts and beliefs, through emotions and feelings, through behavior. What we experience through another person is always a reflection of ourselves. We see the part in the other we recognize and like in ourselves and feel a positive connection. Or we see the part in the other we recognize and dislike in ourselves and feel repulsion. Or we see the part in the other we lack in ourselves and create the hope that the connection with the other will bring us fulfillment for our lack. However, all we do is reflect each other, thus creating experience that we call relationships, whether personal or material. This way, we will always attract what we reflect. If we reflect on fear, the mirror orb will reveal fear in our relationship and in our experiences in general. If we reflect joy and gratitude, that's what will be reflected at us. Therefore, if you don't like whatever is reflected back at you through life, remember, you are the one creating this mirroring reflection. It is your orb. You are the orb. Don't resist it. It is you expecting your reflection in the mirror to smile at you while you look into the mirror with an unsatisfied and unhappy face. A little bit of a cold. I'm sorry. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? And the mirror, your orb, will answer you, my dear, because there is only you in every reflection, in every connection, in every experience. Only you. There is only you in this whole freaking universe. Only you and your collection of reflections of you. Only you. So now, love you. See you next time. Thank you for watching.